I'm going to start this video on my stoop. The reason for this video is another reminder in a video to Sundance Active Adult, government, the Authority to Management Group, which is AAM, and Sundance Active Adult. Those white doors were put on that house about 7 years ago. Well, no, it's probably over 8 years ago. In response to the lady who lives in this house, when she moved in, she said to me, is there any way that I can get my door open? I mean, we got beautiful days here and I can't open my door. I can open the door in the back, but I can't open the door in the front. At that time, metal doors that were to be put on houses were $700 to $1,000 installed for a metal security door. You have to understand, this is when Hal Golightly was a manager. Hal Golightly wasn't out writing letters and doing audits. All Hal Golightly was trying to do is keep the ship on course. Once we get enough people signed up and enough lots sold, we're not going to have a police force, a code police force for years. We've got a threshold target percentage of home sales before we ever start sending out compliance letters. That'll be done later on down the road when we get sold out more. The reason I'm starting here is this is why I got a letter from you that was dated September 14th. That letter was dated September 14th, and I had just completed about 2 weeks of upgrades. That means going out and buying the material. Just in potting compound alone, I must have $50 or $75 tied up to fill all these pots and plants. Plus the pots and plants cost money. The cement, I like to play with cement. It's the easiest material in the world. All you have to do is find any plastic vessel that will hold cement and take Crisco and wipe the inside of it with Crisco and pour cement in it, and you're going to have a molded, within 24 hours, you've got a molded purse where you've picked up whatever sculpture you thought was in that vessel, you've picked it up and duplicated it. And that's what I've done here. Okay? And the reason what enticed me to do all this work is because approximately around the first week of September, Walmart and all the retailers put everything on sale. The pots went on sale. That went from about a $50 pot down to $25. Everything dropped. All the cactus that was $5 for a cactus was now $1. All right. So, and I have to explain, every one of these solar lights right here is like a $15. It's $15. I went out and I bought wind chimes. That wind chime right there was probably, I'll say conservative, that was $25. I got it at a local retailer. All right, that's a solar light. I probably got, with the solar lamp that's sitting, that green top you see up there is a solar lamp. So with the, probably $20 into that. These pots right here and these cactus was all bought from local retailers. This display was bought from a local retailer. Those came from Goodwill. A lot of stuff you see in my yard come from Goodwill. If I think it matches and it looks good, I'm putting it up. This came from a local retailer. What I'd like to do is what I have displayed there, I would love to display nautical wall art like this, the whole length of this wall, accented by solar lights at night that come on dim. They're unassuming, they're quiet, they're dim, but I'd like to fill this whole wall up with nautical wall art, like all different kinds of fishes, okay, or sailboats, or whatever. And I think I should have, for $90 a month, if I do it tastefully, I should be able to do that. Granted, it's probably a little different than what the monotone you're used to seeing in this neighborhood. And one example of something I bought at Goodwill for about $1.29, no more than $2, is this yellow flower. Do you see that? I think it's perfect. In my opinion, I think it's perfect for the neighborhood. Okay? But it is a little different. And the woman who lives in this house loved it. She loved it. She goes, it's very feminine. And when I asked her where you want to put it, she said, put it on the front. So I did. And I don't see what is so completely offensive about this and why I should get a letter from the HOA for what I did here. Okay? I spent a lot of money and time to do this. I also did this little project with cement. I did this project with cement. And I've got 2 sets of solar lights feeding it. Now, in this rock, I've told you before, this rock has been here about 9 or 10 years. I bought it from a vendor coming down the street. All this was done while Hal Golightly was here. When Hal Golightly was here, he wasn't worrying about colors of people's gutters. He was trying to keep the ship on course and keep everybody quiet and happy, and we weren't going to go after people until we sell and get enough density here to where we can start, where we know we're going to make it, and we can start bringing in management groups that are going to start auditing and writing letters and generating paper against these homes. That wasn't the case. When I put those white doors on the house, that wasn't the case. Everybody had free movement. I'm going to walk down here now. That's what I did that was out of compliance, and that's why I have letters. And I'm fully expecting when I go to the mailbox one of these days that I'm going to have fines and letters that the HOA paid a lawyer a couple $1,000s to draw up that had me securely handcuffed financially because I bought that house. This is a neighborhood here. That neighborhood right there goes all the way up, and there's a cul-de-sac at the end. That street, there's another intersecting street there that's filled with houses. This street is filled with houses, and there's more houses up by the mailbox. And I'm going to keep reiterating every morning, every time I send you a video. Now, if I turn around and say we're at Tract H, we're in the same adult community, we all pay the same dues, we all have a right to vote, we all vote for board members. Now, if I'm standing in Tract H right now, this morning, or if I could move myself over there right now, when I did a 180 turnaround, I'd be looking at an interstate highway, paved, no obstructions, no plants, no barriers, that had been in the neighborhood or in the adult community for 12 years. That super highway that's flat and wide with no plants has been there for 12 years. It started that way. It started as an access easement. It's still being used as an access easement. All the people in the same neighborhood pay their $90 a month per house, and they've got a super highway. The guy that's trying to, if I want to sell that house there, and I'm in Parcel 13, I can tell every buyer that you're only 40 feet away from the access easement onto the golf course. Now let's turn around again. Now we're back in track day. We're back in track day. We turn around, and we've got rocks out there that are that installation of rocks out at the end of the trail. The HOA has rubber stamped that installation. It was put there by the gentleman who lives in this house, who is a snowbird. These rocks were also put there. Those rocks are too close to the sidewalk. I was given a rule by Chuck 2 years ago that I could only get within 24 inches of the sidewalk. So what I'm trying to get across to the HOA, and I'm going to get across to everybody in YouTube land, we're in Buckeye, Arizona. In Buckeye, Arizona, the HOA, this HOA is like living on a reservation. It's sovereign territory. We don't have to live by the rules of the state of Arizona. When you bring in the third page of the plat map that says that's supposed to look like Tract H, Tract H has had unlimited use. There hasn't been one restriction on Tract H in 12 years for golf carts or pedestrians. Now, also I want to tell you what I've got invested here. Not only do I pay my dues on time, and I want to talk about the financial commitment and the promise I made when I put my name on the paper to buy these 3 houses. What I was burdened with. First of all, I paid that one for cash. I bought these 2 on good credit. It was immediately unpopular with all the people who had bought before and after me. I don't know, they probably thought I was a Yankee carpetbagger coming in and taking advantage of a downtrodden South that just lost the Civil War or something. But anyway, I walked into Buckeye about 2 years after I was here, and this sidewalk assessment that we all paid, there was about over probably $3,600, $3,500 against each house. I walked in one day 2 years after I was here, a year and a half, and I paid them off. I wrote checks to the town of Buckeye in one day for over $11,000. So this is paid off. And I'm going to end by going out and looking at the solar panels, and I'll show you what I have installed. This is something that all came from Goodwill except the solar light on top. These I expect to mount someplace. I still got to work. But your letters, all the stuff that I did to my house, and I had all kinds of plans. I've got all kinds of material that I bought that I want to put on the houses. And when I got your letters over a cosmetic thing, this is cosmetic. This is appearance shop. You're making appearance sound like I'm a criminal, that I deserve to have fines and everything put against me. I don't. As we get back to my financial commitments, I've never been late on one dues payment. I just got done paying my taxes. I've never been late on taxes. Every time I get a fine or a letter, I respond to it. Here's another investment. You're looking at $15,000 plus per house for the solar. That's another investment I made in the local economy. And I was led to believe I was going to get a federal write-off on all of them. I didn't. I only got the federal write-off of 30%. So that means I coughed up $4,500 for that house and for that house extra to put the solar on the house. And I have no regret. It was the day that those solar panels got commissioned by the town of Buckeye inspector. He came out and he said, okay, throw the switch. Start pumping electricity into the net, into the grid. It was one of the proudest days of my life. Those roofs that run east to west wasn't an accident. It wasn't an accident. I knew I was going to put solar on these houses as soon as I bought them. Before I bought them.